And this kind of earthquake occurs all the way up to around Oahu as well. So in the past couple centuries, right, we've seen those earthquakes up in the channel between Molokai and Oahu, and some fairly good sized ones. So it's something that will occur, but they're completely unpredictable as to exactly when and where they'll occur. There are no established fault systems. It's just this big piece of crust in what we call the lithosphere, the hard outer shell of the earth, kind of cracking and creaking and groaning under the weight of our islands.
To severe weather now, a weakened tropical storm Elsa made landfall this morning along Florida's Gulf Coast, bringing with it heavy rain and some strong winds. It's moving into Georgia now. We've got Liz Crawford reporting from St. Petersburg, Florida with the very latest.
Tropical storm Elsa made landfall in Taylor County, Florida, flooding roads and bringing heavy wind and rain. The storm made for treacherous driving along I-75 in central Florida as it moved inland. Overnight, Elsa pounded Florida's west coast with winds up to 75 miles an hour and up to 15 inches of rain. This tree collapsed on a condo in Clearwater. No one was hurt. Water flooded streets in this St. Petersburg neighborhood, but residents say they prepared for even worse. Many in this flood-prone area are still recovering from Tropical Storm Ada last fall. Now, neighbors tell me Elsa didn't do nearly as much property damage.
I lost my fridge, my stove, hot water heater, washer, dryer, all my furniture. It was awful.
In Sarasota, the cleanup is already underway.
It's pretty much what I was expecting.
It's way calmer than I thought it would be. I thought there'd be limbs down everywhere, but it sort of missed us.
All things considered, where we looked at 72 hours ago, I think the impacts have been less than what we thought would be reasonable. So we're fortunate.
Officials say additional flooding is still a concern over the next few days because the ground in northern Florida is already saturated from heavy rain last week. Liz Crawford, CBS News, St. Petersburg, Florida.
Instead of a baby boom, 2020 saw a baby bust in Hawaii and the rest of the nation. But even removing that so-called COVID blip, the total number of babies born in Hawaii annually has declined over 11% over the last decade. As our digital producer Melanie Yamaguchi explains, it's a major factor in the state's slowing population growth.
Over the last century, Hawaii's population was defined by growth. A booming population, especially in the 1940s to 1960s, meant a booming economy, an abundance of workers, a flurry of construction, a strong social safety net. But Hawaii's population growth has been slowing for years.
The emergence of low fertility is going to last forever. And this is going to be a great challenge for us for the next 40 years.
In 2010, there were 18,910 babies born in Hawaii. In 2020, there were 15,780. That's a 16% decline in 10 years. Catherine Lee is 33. She's a businesswoman, an artist, a writer. What she isn't is a mom, and that's intentional.
There are so many things I want to do that would not be fair to a child if I had one.
Catherine says there are lots of reasons why she's decided not to have a child, at least for now. There's the cost of living, for one.
I don't have that kind of financial freedom to do something like that. So even if I wanted to, which I did kind of consider it, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Quality care alone can cost families $1,000 or more per child each month.
How do we try to lower those costs? And then how do we try to put more money into people's wallet, either through lifting wages or through things like the new child credit that we have from the federal government.
Hawaii's population decline is a problem based on the structure of society today, but experts say it doesn't have to be.
The fact that population is growing more slowly in Hawaii is, I think, an opportunity to really improve the way that we marshal both our human resources and our physical resources, our natural resources. and to balance those things in a better way.
All right, joining us in the H&N Digital Center right now is Melanie. She put together that piece you just saw. Hey, Melanie, so what were your takeaways from doing all this research and reporting on this issue?
I think the most striking thing to me was just how much of an impact Hawaii's slowed population growth is going to have on society. It's going to affect our social safety net and economy. And in the long term, we're going to have a much older society, a much grayer society. And so that's going to put stress on public programs like Social Security and Medicare. And so I really think that we need to be aware of something like this and that it can really affect us in the long term.
It sounds like something other countries like Japan have to deal with a lot. You hear about that in the news quite a bit, right? So what are some other ways people can learn more about this? I know you have way more extensive reporting on our H&N digital platforms, right?
Yeah, correct. So on our website, we have an in-depth story that I put together. And my photographer, Davis, and I, we went out and interviewed experts and real people. So we talked to a woman who is putting off having kids because she really just wants to focus on her career right now and she feels like she can't afford to have a child. So we speak to real people like that. And then another woman who actually missed that part of her life and she became a caregiver to her mom in her 30s. Wow. At a really, a point in her life when she could have been having kids. So you can hear from real people like that, but also experts as well. And on that same story, we also have a lot of visual elements, so a lot of graphs and charts that really demonstrate what's going on today with population growth and declining fertility rates. So it's a good visual for you to see.
Always do great in-depth reporting for our H&N digital team. Thanks so much. Let's toss it back over to Ashley.
An uptick in crime is prompting 24-hour police patrols in Chinatown. Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi has authorized HPD to monitor 3 areas starting this month through December. The patrol zones stretch from River Street to Bishop Street, and each shift will have 1 supervisor and 6 officers. We're getting closer to having a new Aloha Stadium. Casey Lund has the update.
One thing almost everyone can agree on is that the current Aloha Stadium needs to be replaced. It's showing its age and quite frankly, it just isn't safe. But one thing that hasn't been finalized is exactly how that new facility will look and operate. Will it have space for the swap meet, which currently generates around $4 million each year, bringing in around 30,000 visitors each week? And more importantly, perhaps, will UH still play at that new facility? Those are questions we set out to answer today. Is there space for them?
Yes, definitely. With being our biggest stakeholder, bringing in almost 40% of our income annually, the swap meet is very essential, and we have space for them both now, throughout construction, and even when development is done.
That's Chris Kinimaka, Public Works Administrator for the Department of Accounting and General Services. Her team is working to clarify the scope of this massive project, which will be broken into 2 contracts. One for building the stadium itself and another for developing the residential and commercial space surrounding it.
As we were moving forward with the projects, we started with the stadium, like everyone's thinking about develop the anchor first, but we started to realize that every unique team has their wheelhouse, their strengths. And so we really had to focus on optimizing getting the best stadium team together and also getting the best real estate team together.
Right now, the plan is for the state to put in some $350 million in seed money. The hope is that the possibilities for retail and commercial development in the district will bring in much more. A vision State Senator Glenn Wakai and others have been working toward for more than a decade. And what about UH? Will the Warriors ever call this new stadium home?
I give UH a lot of credit. I mean, I thought, 9,000 seats, you're going to build this thing out in 7-8 months. But to their credit, it looks like it's going to happen. But 9,000 is just not enough. And even next year, when they expand to 15,000, that's still not enough. To be a designated Division I football program, you have to average 15,000 seats for the entire season. So that provides them no wiggle room. They're going to need to be a part of this new stadium of the future.
We're told those requests for proposals could be issued sometime this summer. Construction on the new Aloha Stadium could begin as early as next year after the current facility is demolished. Reporting at Aloha Stadium, I'm Casey Lund for This Is Now.
And a reminder, traveling to the state gets a little easier for fully vaccinated visitors starting tomorrow. Those vaccinated on the mainland will be able to upload a picture of their vaccination card to the state Safe Travels website, and that will allow them to bypass COVID test and quarantine. So those electric scooters you see everywhere in Waikiki used to be a gray area of the law, but now a new state bill is giving them the green light. Here's Jolani Martinez with more on that.
Electric scooters have been zooming around Waikiki for years, but city law says they're illegal on sidewalks and streets. They're considered mopeds. But a new state law recognizes the need for more alternatives to cars. This could mean more scooters on the road.
Is the amount of demand that we've seen for our vehicles has superseded any of our expectations.
What started as a trial for GoX in February with only 100 scooters out in the streets of Waikiki quickly bloomed as tourism picked up and rental cars became scarce. A new state law begins a process of legalizing electric foot scooters in Hawaii, letting the counties come up with their own laws over where and how they can operate. Debalov says he's working with the city to set safe rules and regulations.
I'm excited because it creates a certain level of standards behind micromobility solutions, especially full electric foot scooters, where it makes sure that when we go and we register all of our fleet, all of our scooters are safe.
So I'm glad that there's some clarity, and now there's laws on the books that actually dictate what can be done and what can't.
Waikiki Motorsports partners with GoX, providing a parking location for the scooters. The owner says having the rideshare option helps alleviate the already congested strip.
There's not a lot of space, there's not a lot of parking. These little mobility vehicles actually help that situation.
Definitely less driving your car, getting quicker, getting to places quicker. It really works.
But some see the e-scooters as a safety hazard.
And a lot of people complain on the strip like, hey, you're going too fast, you know? And the people riding them, they don't really care.
Others hope the new scooter laws will create other automobile alternative options around the state.
So we can provide safer places for people to bike and people to use scooters, people to use other modes of and walk. Then we're going to have a better community, I think, for everybody.
The new law says riders need to be at least 15 to ride on public property. Anyone under 16 must wear a helmet. Reporting from Waikiki, Jolani Martinez, Hawaii News Now.
To the latest coronavirus numbers now, the state health department is reporting 39 new cases today and no new fatalities. The breakdown by island shows 9 cases on the Big Island, 1 on Maui, 24 on Oahu, and 5 out of state. Kauai County is separately reporting 8 new cases today. Officials say all cases are adult residents, 2 are linked to mainland travel, while the remaining 6 are considered community spread and close contacts of previous cases.
All right, want to take you to a live picture now coming in from the east side. This is our traffic cameras. We're getting a lot of reports of a traffic mess out there, taking more than an hour to get from that Costco area there on Kalani on Ole Highway into town. We're getting reports from callers calling into our newsroom. We're not exactly sure what's going on here, but we're looking into it. As soon as we find out, we'll post that to your social media platforms provided by H&N. Meanwhile, let's get you over to Guy Hoggy with a check of your weather.
Aloha on this Wednesday. The weather's going to be gorgeous today. Trade winds will continue to push in some clouds to windward sides, and embedded in those clouds are just a few showers. We're not expecting a washout anytime soon. And the surplus of winds will hang on through today, but by tonight, those winds will back off. So today's going to be gorgeous. Beach weather, basically. That high surf advisory has been extended until this afternoon. And with all the sunshine, high temperatures running to near 90, but those trade winds will help to keep it from being too humid. Now, as far as the surf, it's on the way down, but still, it's formidable today with some overhead sets in town, but it's fleeting. That's about it. And then 2 to 4, still choppy on the windward side with the trade wind swell, bring in some maybe shoulder high waves. So again, breezy today, lighter winds, higher humidity levels on Thursday and Friday. And then the trade winds come back in over the weekend and continue into the middle of next week. Keep it here on Hawaii News Now. We'll have all your severe weather updates.
It's been a while since Britney Spears has performed, and there are rumors that the pop star may retire. No matter what happens, she's unlikely to stop the money she's fighting for control over. Christine Romans has more.
For 13 years, a court has deemed Britney Spears unable to take care of her own finances. During that time, she has recorded 4 studio albums, headlined the $131 million global circus tour, and staged a 4-year residency in Las Vegas that Caesars Entertainment says grossed more than $137 million. At the age of 39, she's been working and making money more than 2/3 of her life. She told a judge last month, "All I want is to own my money." That money feeds a small army of lawyers, managers, agents, publicists, to say nothing of dancers and backup singers, arrangers and producers. Journalist Ronan Farrow sets the scene in The New Yorker. Every Thursday at noon, about 10 people responsible for managing Spears' legal and business affairs, public relations, and social media met to discuss business deals, song license requests, and Spears' posts to Instagram and Twitter. The conservatorship began in 2008 after a series of personal issues that played out publicly for the singer. 1/3 of her life now has been spent under this conservatorship, and she has continued to make money. She has complained that she needs permission to spend that money, even to change the color of her kitchen cabinets, according to court records obtained by the New York Times. Perhaps the most troubling of her claims, during the recent hearing, she told a judge of the IUD birth control she uses. "This so-called team won't let me go to the doctor to take it out because they don't want me to have any more children." Spears' father has called for an investigation into the claims she made in court. Forbes estimates her net worth at $60 million, at the tail end of a powerful list of pop stars. Rihanna is worth $600 million, Beyoncé $420 million, Taylor Swift $365 million, Jennifer Lopez $150 million, and Jessica Simpson $110.
All right, certainly a story we'll continue to follow here from the H&N Digital Center. Let's see what else the internet is talking about, and I am so excited about this, and that is no joke because I'm the biggest X-Men fan. There is a rumor out there that Hugh Jackman fans are flipping out over after the actor posted 2 photos on Instagram. We don't have them here, but this is file video of him. One shows artwork of Wolverine's claw, the other a photo of him at Marvel's studio with the president. Jackman portrayed Wolverine in several X-Men films. The photos have fans thinking, is there something else in the works? We all know Wolverine passed away in the film Logan, which is the last of his trilogy.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, everyone saw that movie. It was years ago. I can talk about it. Disney acquired the rights from 20th Century Fox, so it makes sense that they might be rebooting something up, you know?
How exciting. Wolverine's probably my favorite X-Men.
I'm a Rogue and Storm fan all the way. And I still watch the cartoons, no lie. That's what I get Disney Plus for.
Hey, no judgment here.
Yeah.
I'm all for a new Wolverine movie. Well, if Jonathan wants to get on TV or a movie, this might be his chance. So a new lifeguard drama will be filmed on Oahu's North Shore. And reports say HBO Max has ordered a pilot of K Nui Road. Now, the contemporary drama will be about a crew of lifeguards mentoring teens in the junior lifeguard program. John Wells and Matt Kester have been tapped as the executive producers.
It's not me, because if you remember earlier in the year, Billy V had an amazing run at lifeguard training.
Right.
He was so good. So I nominate him for that.
Okay, maybe this is more Jonathan's speed. Season 3 of Love Island, which was filmed here in Hawaii, premieres tonight on our sister station, KGMB. The reality dating show competition features 12 new singles who are looking for love, including 2 contestants from Oahu. The production paid $6 million to book all 388 rooms at the Grand Naniloa Hotel in Hilo for 3 months.
That's what was filming there and taking up all those rooms. I get it. You know which one I did watch recently was that Too Hot to Handle. There's a new season out of that, and I think you're the one that told me about the last season. I was like, I'd give it a shot. Yeah. And then I realized it's one of those where they're not releasing everything at once. Right. So now I got it to...
Wait.
Yeah. I'm on like episode 3.
I love trash TV, yes.
Yeah. I like some select shows myself. You guys, that's going to do it for This Is Now on this Wednesday. We've made it halfway through the week. Wanted to remind you all, we're podcasting here all the time at H&N. There's so many new podcasts we have going on right now, and many in the works too. So just search Hawaii News Now wherever you get your podcasts. You guys have a wonderful day. Ashley's going to be back here first at 4.
No first at 4 today.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Okay.
See ya.
See you guys.